Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 5 o'clock p.m. on a Thursday. Means it must be time for another session in the man cave. We was waiting for a while last week. Very happy to be back. Be back in the saddle to catch up on everything related to hoops. So we appreciate y'all spending a little time with us today. I want to say first off, what's up to our co-host, to the All-State PG, and also the All-State coach. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Hey, we good, man. We just trying to make it through another week. So appreciate y'all coming in. See, we had Polk County Public Schools had their first early release this week. So I know the kids is happy about that. The ones that's actually at school. I know those numbers going up and down depending on where you're at. But
are they done with letting the kids decide what they want to do?
Yes, they gotta wait till after the 9 weeks now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, as we do to start off every show, we want to go ahead and pass the rock to our PG so he can take his shot. Once again, Tumer Tate, sponsored by Mike Bligan Santa Fe boys basketball. So, Coach, what's on your mind? I'm sorry, PG, what's on your mind for today?
Man, we're going to talk a little bit about these basketball camps, these exposure camps. And I just kind of want to get into discussion of parents actually spending the money that they spend on these exposure camps, getting an idea like they're going to get more out of it than what they really are. Number one, I don't know about y'all, but I know basketball and football is totally different. But when I played in high school, you didn't pay to go to a camp. You didn't pay to go to exposure camps. You know, you get invited if you were the top level player, bam. But it seems like most of the kids that spend the money, it's just for the brand of the business, to run a business. I mean, I don't know how this one went. Apparently, I don't know how it went, but apparently the prep hoops one had the virtual, and for me, I would just want to see what coaches actually sat down and watch kids that pay to go play at a basketball camp and have interest in that compared to kids that didn't even go. And I also want to ask y'all, how do you rank? Because it says top 250, right? How would you rank the top 250 of those kids that went when half of the kids that's ranked in the top 25 didn't even show up? So how would the rankings even go? Would you know, Billy D?
CT, man, they do their homework, all right, and they're very thorough about doing their homework. Those kids that are in that top 25 are still going to stay in that top 25, and they're basing that assessment on, last year, what they did on the circuit, if they played on the circuit, and potential. My problem is those are money makers for those particular organizations that run those things. As you stated earlier, the top players are not going to pay to come.
Yeah.
They're letting them in. But at the same time, if you go there and you really get off and shine, you could get a great write-up that might lead to something. So it's twofold, but most of them are driven by money.
Yeah, I just think I know I've seen in the past where parents get excited. I mean, I had parents who come, hey, my son finna go to such and such camp. I say, how much the camp cost? I don't really want to discuss it, but then we get into deep detail and they spend $200-$300. I'm like, listen, that's a ripoff. That $300, you can invest that in something else, and you can do huddle for free or something before you go spend that money. Just for a little write-up. I mean, if you ain't getting write-ups now, hey, spending $300 ain't the route to go, and I don't think parents or kids, well, mostly parents should invest that type of money into exposure camps like that. You know what I'm saying? For again, I if it was everybody was invited, if they had all the players around the state, the top 25, and you felt like you were left out, and you had a chance to move into that type of position, and you were that good, then it's find a way to get there. But for none of the top players to be even in the camp, I mean, we didn't even have no top players in Polk. Did we have any of the Polk top 5 at this camp?
Not to my knowledge, I don't know.
So that parents should investigate, like look into everything about it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what Prep Hoops are doing, as far as building the financial part of what their business can do. But as parents, we should look at other ways to invest our money when it comes to basketball exposure camps.
Yeah, I think it gets tricky when you use the word exposure and camp and showcase, because if it's a camp and you looking to profit off of it, that's one thing. But if you're trying to give kids exposure and showcase them, then like you saying, I agree, it probably shouldn't be where you charging to expose a kid or give a kid a chance to have that opportunity. But if you're doing a camp, like you're working on skills, or you're going to be playing against people, I just think, to your point, they kind of like running together. It's almost like I'm giving you exposure, but I'm doing it where I gotta pay you for it. And I shouldn't have to pay you. Like when we were gonna do the Polk Hoops showcase, it was free. It was gonna be free. We're not charging. We're gonna invite you to come. We're gonna hope everybody come. We're gonna line you up, and you're gonna kind of go for what you know, because our goal is to promote, like we do with everything with Polk Hoops, is just for the kids and for the programs and for just Polk County basketball. So there's nothing wrong with it if you try, like you say, you're trying to monetize it, but just kind of be clear about that. Don't put it on the premise of I'm exposing your kid, but you got to pay me to expose your kid, and I can't even guarantee you that what I'm paying you're going to get out of. You understand? It'd be different, I guess, if you can guarantee, okay, this amount of coaches are going to see your kid, whether they like them or not, they're going to see them. We don't even have a way of knowing that people are even going to see your kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it kind of run it together. And parents, to their credit, they trying to put their kids in the best situation to get exposure, get a look. And some of these people, not everybody,
because they don't know, because they don't know, and they've never really been told. And then they do have cost, but I think if they're not for profit, they should reach out and get sponsors. But you know what I'm saying, and try to go that route. They do have to pay for refs and all that. So I totally agree with you. It's ways to do it. But the still the dream, man, if I got 125 college coaches that's gonna be tuning in, man, I called one coach, man. He was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You hear about the exposure?" And their name was on it. So
when I ran the summer league, I ran the summer league in Polk County for 15, 20 years. I charged a fee for the teams, and they knew right up top that all the money was paying for the officials. I never took and you can ask McGriff, you can ask Collins, you can ask Scott. I never took a penny the whole time I did the summer league, because it wasn't never about me. I did the schedule, communicate with the refs, with the players in there. And so it was like you said, it was right up front. We never charged people to come in there and watch the games. You come in there and watch the kids or whatever, because it wasn't never about that. So like to Coach's point, Coach saying charge the colleges for the media guy, I get his fees, but I just think we just gotta we selling a dream, and like to your point, not bashing nobody, because that's what's gonna come across like we bashing people. But you just
that's what Tumer take about bashing. You know what I'm saying? and I'm bashing folks to save their money. I'm just telling you, like, just say you $200-300. Don't let no coaches influence you that an exposure camp gonna get your son a scholarship. That's highly unlikely. I really think that most high school coaches should push these folks like prep hoops. Whether when we start, we should try to do one where it's a team exposure camp, because now you get more of a setting that is a lot better and organized for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So now they're playing in an organized situation, and you can actually see how will they play against the other talent. Now you can get all the top talent in. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
For those situations, because like even at these camps, you got to remember that it's a bunch of selfish players trying to do the same exact thing, shine, show that they can do this, show that they can do that. So you never really get to see the raw talent that you of a kid that you really could see in an organized setting. Because if it was, let's say, if it was Walt, a kid from down south, Tumlin, a kid from Orlando, one of the twins that just transferred. Let's say they on 5 different teams, and I'm that kid that averaged 9 or 10 points on my JV team last year, or I was third man to go on the freshman team on the varsity. I was the third or fourth best player, right? I get on the team with them guys. Them guys ain't passing the rock. I know I wasn't when I played, because that's the first thing you was told. Yo, these type of camps, you don't supposed to just sit there and be Mr. Nice Guy. You got to bring it. You got to bring it on both ends, offensively, defensively, but you got to show these people. And then that puts who? 4 other people on the back end. And then a lot of times when they get the top level players, they're going to put all of them on the same team. It's a gimmick to it, man. I played in it. You know what I'm saying? We've been in the back seat to watch it. The same gimmick been going on for years and years and years. So it's just, I just don't think it's
not just getting money off. They're getting money from it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're saying, it's, and I know that somebody had I read on Twitter where somebody was asking about the camp, and they kids experience, it was first time going or something like that. And the guy was like, well, it was interesting. And then somebody was like, well, what you mean by interesting? And he was saying along the lines of that, kind of what you're saying, everybody out there trying to get theirs. So his son got caught up on a team with 3 other, he called them alpha dogs. And it was just like black hole after black hole. Every time it come across half court, whoever brought it up, it was going up. So it's like, if you used to playing in a system and playing on a team and taught to play basketball a certain way, then you jump to something like that. Like you're saying, if all them people and then they have all these people they invite to watch it. I guess Baller TV is this big thing now. I don't know enough about it, but I guess that's what they're watching.
That's how I know it's about the money when Baller TV got Baller TV, because Baller TV is huge. They're probably number 1 in the country now. So that was part of the investment of the partnership. You get them in. And I say that because I know for a fact that I've had business situations where we've sat down in meetings to try to get a camp AAU tournament going on. And that was the first thing we said, how can we bring Baller TV in for the financial part to make the tournament grow and look even bigger? You know what I'm saying? So on that end, it's that's top. Point blank, a financial point right there. Because Baller TV ain't doing nothing for free.
And so you got to charge because you got to pay all those. So those people are not really sponsors as it relates to trying to ensure that the event get off. They sponsors to they getting broke off, essentially.
Yeah.
Is what you
and again, if that's what you want to do, that's a smart business move. But I think the parents need to be educated on it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. Whether we talking about it or not, it's not gonna stop. Jason Thomas, who's a future doctor, whose parents got $300 to go blow to get some runs in. But for that kid that's, hey, I want to play at the next level, but I ain't really getting no look, and they want to charge me $300. Is this a smart camp? No, it's not a smart camp. It's not at all.
And like Joe said, there's a lot of bad basketball at those things because, I mean, if I'm a college coach and I wonder, like, do they give like a guide to these people, these coaches, like number 1 through 100. This is who's gonna be here type stuff, so I can know. Cause if I just tune in and I coach at Maryville University and I just tune in and I don't even have anything, I don't even really, you know what I'm saying? I don't even really know what I'm looking at. It's like, and maybe they are doing that. I mean, but then if I'm a college coach, do I gotta pay Baller TV? Like I said, I don't know enough about it. I gotta pay Baller TV in order to look at it. So they're getting paid on, is that high? Or the coaches get free access? I mean, I don't know, Billy D. I know you've been at it, so you may have a little more insight. But like you say, seems like it's a lot of moving parts to it, and I guess that's why you end up paying $300 because they gotta satisfy all these people that they don't kind of, stuck on the fly with it.
Yeah, usually from a college coach's standpoint, they pay for like a media guide. But that media guy is going to be on those kids that they actually ranked and looked at, before those kids came. So, the no-name kids, are not going to be in that media guide. They probably be listed in what high school they go to, but it's not going to be much of a write-up. And I've seen them charge $200, $300, $400 for those media guides. And then I'm pretty sure that included in that is that link to live stream. For example, I know when you go to Peach Jam, they charging them college coaches $400-$500 for that media guide. You know what I'm saying?
So you look at the level of talent. I'm as a college coach, I'm gonna sit down in the front seat and I'm gonna drop that $400. You know what I'm saying? But man, that level of talent that I heard was over there this weekend. Hey man, that was 6, 7, 8 man. And you, like you said, if I'm a coach. If I'm a college coach and I pay this money and I open this book up and these kids that's ranked in the top 10 ain't none of them there, man, hey, I want my money back, man. You tell.
Yeah. I mean, these organizations got to do a great job, and that's the reason why they offer them kids for free. They let them come in for free and play because they need that big name in order to pull those colleges in, in order for them to pay, that money. So that's the reason why they let those kids in for free.
Yeah, but
so I can put that big name on it.
When kids show up, bro, that's when you got to question. When none of the kids show up, you see what I'm saying? None of the top level kids. If you trying to get better and you looking at it, once them kids don't come, you don't got none of those type of kids playing. I heard maybe it was one kid that was there that was pretty good. Then I also heard that even the top players was gonna have to pay.
And so if you're paying, and the thing is, if it pays off, you get the look, you get the offer, you get the interest, then it's like you say, it's all good. But that's a lot, and especially if you get out there and if it's not set up to the point where you're gonna get a chance to even showcase what you can do. Like TJ said, it's for kids to show their skill level and skill set. If you get dropped on a team with 2 or 3, like I say, black holes, you never gonna even be able to show that you can do nothing because you never gonna touch the ball. I guess you can show you can hustle. You can show you can. I mean, I don't know. You can guard. I don't even know if you can show you can guard because if you look at you get on a team where it's you playing that face guard type deep. I don't know. It's just that's a. If I go in there with my guys.
He spent $440 over the 4 years. Prep Hoop, we have 3 active conversations with schools from Florida, so it's worth it.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You as a parent, coach,
man, you just donated $440, cuz you just donated $440.
You say over 4 years, so you spent $110 a year. And you got interest from 3 schools. So at the end of the day, like we're saying, as a parent, that last sentence is all it's about.
He got it.
You feel like it was worth it, then it was worth it. And I mean, he got your son getting conversation, and your son got interest from those schools that you feel like he wouldn't have got if he didn't go.
Hey, I mean, and TJ just said the words out my mouth, man. Conversation. That's a whole nother different ball game, bro. If I'm paying $440 for a conversation, man, I'm definitely rethinking how my money was spent for a conversation. I'd rather TJ just said it out his mouth. Conversation aren't offers. So that's different. If that's what they're looking for, conversation.
I mean, you got to look at it from a couple of different standpoints. I understand where coach coming from. You know, you just want to put your kid on the platform in order for them to get seen. You know, and those conversations could, you know, work their way up to an offer, but they got to start somewhere. You know, especially if you don't have anything going, you know, maybe you think it's a good investment. I'm not gonna take my kid to everyone. I'm gonna do my research and figure out which ones are legit. Coach Monty put up about hoop exchange. You know, I know the person that put those on. That's Scott Golden. He does a really good job, and he's really connected. You know, with college coaches. You know what I'm saying? He has helped my guys in the past. So
you paid him?
No, sir.
All right, exactly.
No, sir. You know, I have built relationships where.
But in some cases, though, Coach Billy D didn't have to. He got relationship. Some cases you may have to. You may have to. And you have to decide if it's worth it for you investing in your child. I mean, you got to make that decision. It's not an easy decision, but if you feel like it's worth it, there's nothing wrong with that. And Coach Joe, we just talking in general. We ain't talking no specific. He talking about he want to make sure nobody coming for him. Hey, they won't come for you. They come for us. They let y'all breathe. They just come and they come for us by name. So you good.
This Tumer take, man. Yeah. I don't know no ballers paying no money to get no exposure.
But it's a different thing. We know that they tried to get a kid that was first team. They tried to get him to pay.
Joe, did you pay to go to camps when you was playing ball? TJ, did you pay any money to go to camps when you was playing ball? Y'all respond to that so I can put it up on the other thing. And you just need to know that. Joe, you played college ball. Did you spend money to go to camps, the exposure camps? I know TJ answer. So bring your answer, TJ. It just don't happen, man. You just don't spend. You don't spend that money, dog. Exactly. You just don't pay. You get invites, man. You get invites. You just got to rethink. Honestly, you rethink how to get this thing done.
This the question.
You got so much technology now, cuz.
This the question. With these showcases, how they set up now, do they give invites?
Yeah. Ballers ain't paying no money, man.
Do they?
Listen, cuz a real baller is not spending no money. And Prep Hoops was charging real ballers, that told you enough about the camp, bro. It was a money. The whole thing.
I'm not disagreeing with that point. My question is, do camps just overall nowadays do invites? Seem like all of them that I see, is my point, is charging. I don't see, and they may be. I'm not as much in it. I'm just what I see when I'm on Twitter and I'm just, looking up stuff. Seem like the ones I've seen, like the five I've seen 5 since school started. All 5 of them they got a fee attached. Now on the back end, it may be an invite, off the record, but it's not saying invite only. It's not saying that type. So I'm just telling you what I'm reading. I'm not saying it's not what's not happening.
Well, first of all, everybody charge. It's just the fact of who they're gonna charge in order to be a part of that event. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that from experience. They're gonna charge people, and people are gonna pay, just to try to get a look. But do everybody get charged? No. They know what they need to do in order to promote their event. You know what I'm saying? If they have the top kids there, that means the colleges are gonna pay for that guide, or they're gonna pay for that live stream in order to see. Their goal is to put on a quality event, so therefore it grows. So if it grows, I mean their money grows. You know what I'm saying? But so they know what they have to do, and to let the top 5 kids in or the top 10 kids in, that's what they have to do in order to build the event, and they're going to do it every time.
Monty, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm saying yes. If the top players are not going to this camp, and you saying go put in work, you can use them $300 or $200 on something else to put in the work. Then to go waste the money on the camp that they ain't got the top level players.
But look at what Joe said below him. Good point. And he done went for free, and he's saying he don't have a problem paying for his son.
Hey, Joe tripping.
I think it's according to the event and who's putting it on. Prep Hoops is trying to get on the map. They're not there yet. As far as those events, as far as it comes to those events, like I said, Hoop Exchange has been there. You got Sean I think he's out of Georgia, that puts on those quality events. And it's just different people that are already established. Prep Hoops is trying to get there. So that's probably why the event wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be.
Coach Austin said bigger names get invites, lesser known get a bill. So the thing is, you pay for your and I'm speaking from football. I've paid for my son to go to a camp, and he's gotten invited to. He got invited to more than I paid for. I can say that.
What camp you paid for? What camp you paid for?
I paid for it was a exposure camp in LaGrange, Georgia. But the day before that, he got invited to the super camp in Valdosta. Since I was already in Valdosta, I say we'll ride over to LaGrange, and I paid for that one. I see both sides of it. I just think sometimes we kind of get them like confused. Like when I take him to a Florida camp or Miami camp, it was different than a showcase at like LaGrange College or like Valdosta. They was exposure as opposed to camp.
Yeah.
And even when he went to Miami, it was 10, 12 other schools that was there besides Miami. But you knew that, and they physically was there. That was my thing. Like if I'm gonna pay $300, then I want to know for sure that he gonna be in front of these people. Now, what he do in front of these people is on him. If he go up there and he fall on his face, that's on him. But you was in front of him. You understand? How things are now, it's just hard to see. Okay, these people were invited. They may be here. I have no way of knowing if them people even clicked on the Ballers TV thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, if I'm gonna pay the money, then I just want to guarantee that my child gonna at least be seen. Now, whether he do anything with it, at least he, quote unquote, had the exposure. And that, to the same point, that's the Walt mama. Same point. The older CJ got, the less I paid. At first, when I started taking CJ to camps when he was in 5th grade. So I was paying.
When was you paying? When was you paying? When he was? How young was it when you was paying? I'm just giving my opinion on it.
Talking about CJ? I said 5th grade.
I'm asking her.
You asking on Walt mama?
Yeah, I know Walt ain't spent no money in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. You stop paying once they get to, but that's football. I'm speaking.
So we do it 130, 250 kids. That's a lot of money being made, man. And you got 6 coaches watching it. And them your homeboys.
And TJ say if they're not inviting you, it's an indication you're not separating yourself from the average high school level kid.
I agree with TJ on that. You know what I'm saying? It should challenge you in order to, bust the door down.
And that's what I'm saying. That's all exactly what I'm saying, Coach Billy D. That like if you have to pay and these other kids are getting invited, it's already showing you like that's so we gotta rethink before we waste that money on the exposure camp. And all I'm saying is I know when I played, I'm sure TJ when he was playing at those camps, man, he didn't know what passing was. TJ wasn't passing the rock. TJ was trying to dunk on everybody. You don't pass the rock. So the kids that are trying to get the exposure don't even really get to touch the ball. That's how bad it be at these.
They're not going to even have the opportunity to get it.
Yeah, they just playing hard on defense, and coaches ain't looking at you playing hard on defense at these camps. They just not gonna watch. Oh, he play hard. Can he dribble to the left? They pay for Bear University workout.
And to that point, that kind of makes sense. Kind of like what Waltman was saying, and kind of like when I took CJ to the Miami camp just this football, but starting in 6th grade. So 6th, 7th, 8th grade, they was all grouped together. There's 500 kids out there working out. When it was time for them to like do the one-on-ones and the 7-on-7, they put this group over here. And that was the juniors and seniors that they really was wanting to see. And they had the coaches on that field. They put the other 10th, 9th, and 10th grade kids on this middle field and then they put all the middle school kids over here. So I don't care how good you was at that point. And the coaches for the rest of the time was on that field with those kids, like you saying, those invite kids. So by the time CJ got to 10th grade, he was over there with the invite kids. But at first, like you said, he don't care what he did, they weren't gonna see him because he wasn't who they was inviting to come to start with. So it's a gradual process. So like you said, to the point with Walt, by the time he got in 10th grade, I'm sure when he started, he was over there with the middle school kids, no matter how good he was. To the point now.
I think I get it in middle school. I think that's what I'm getting the wrong discussion of my point. When you're younger like that, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about when you're in high school and
you talking about once they high school, 10th, 11th.
High school and you're a varsity player, man, don't go spend that money.
Because the middle school kids and the little kids, it's just like getting a trainer or something.
Yeah.
It's just trying to improve their fundamentals and skills. It's really not about exposure in middle school. You know what I'm saying? But once, they get to high school, then, everybody looking for that next LeBron or that next, phenom or whatever. So I definitely see the difference in that. And I wouldn't mind paying if I had a elementary kid or a middle school kid just to give him, a chance to get better.
Right. And so TJ said he had to prove to the top players. But
you see the camp, you see
now like you got invited though, but you had to be there. You had to get invited.
You see the name of the camp, right?
So So
that's what Billy
was saying, like that type of camp. We know, like I'm saying, like that type of camp or that exposure camp, whatever we call it, showcase. We know that's invite only.
Invite only.
So we don't, and me now, and like I said, I'm not as up on it. I don't think invite only when I think the camps that I'm looking at now, because that's not how they're presenting their product. They're not presenting their product as invite only. Does that make sense? I guess that's what it is for me. Like if it's an exposure camp, it should be invite only because your goal is to expose the kids. But if you're here to try to make money, then say that. we're here to make money, and there's a possibility. We have invited these coaches to possibly watch your child play. And I just think in that case, you're a lot more realistic with it. So if I do want to break bread, then it's totally on me at that point. I don't come in with no expectation that.
Yeah, I just find it interesting to see, like, how could you, like, if you got 250 kids that paid, that's dope. Get that money. But then let's go to the rankings. If you're gonna rank these players, like, how am I gonna rank Walt number 11 in the senior class? I get a kid that paid $200 or $130, $75 to come here, and he's the best player at the camp. Now I put him at number 6. Your ranking ain't even credible. It's like, okay, you just lost me right there because you didn't even have the guys that's tough there for it.
So really, you should be saying you doing rankings based off of the camp, not overall, because it's hard to rank if everybody not there. So I can say,
I want to see who went to that camp, and I want to see the type of exposure they're getting, how they're going to be ranked based off of attending that camp. But it's, that was just something I had on my mind. I just think parents should invest their money a different way. Not to knock the camp. I'm saying if you got the Monty money that just don't care about $400 to get the interest, the conversation going, I get it. Joe say he paid it. I get it. But if it's other ways to invest your money in your kid, let's try to look at that and try to see like who's at these situations that's gonna help you. Because if none of the top level players there, none of the colleges is gonna be there looking at it. So, you know, I just want to throw that out there, you know, try to share my thoughts to any parents that don't understand get rich or die trying scheme. Hey, it worked. Got my teeth. It worked. It got Joe. It worked.
Hey, but listen though, it's the thing is you gotta set your parameters, and for what Monty was looking for, he got what he was looking for. So it was an investment. It was money well spent because he said he got conversation, and he got the what's the name? He got the interest going. So that's you know, that was what he was looking for, and that's what he got. So I don't know what Joe was looking for. He said he just wanted his son to be around it, and so in that case, he got what he was looking for. So as long as you get what you're looking for out of it, you can't really knock it. Sean says, well, I guess you can knock it, but it's to each his own. I guess I'll say it that way. Yeah, y'all doing the City of Palms this year, Sean, and Bartow actually is going to be representing themselves, first of all, but they'll be representing Polk County. They got invited and they accepted the invite to be in the tournament. I think this like Bartow's second or third time being in it. I know they was in it.
Actually, I think it's their fourth time. They went with Jay Frog them. They went with Bradley. So it may be their third time.
They didn't go when they had paired them, right? They went when Bradley had signed with Carolina, right?
Yes.
Right. So I thought it was the third time. I thought they went like so now, you know, this year they'll be in it. So that'll be a real good look. Like you say, it's some great players down there. That's like #1 national tournament. And that's along the lines of invite. That's an invite tournament. You can't just walk in the door and go to that tournament. They have to invite you to come. And so if they invite you, that means they must feel like you're pretty good.
I even feel that way about AAU. Like, I mean, if you paying to be on the AAU team and it's not, I guess because I've been around the other side of it. I've been around with Billy D. I've been around each one team stat, each one teach one. So it's hard to just pay at a high school level to be paying to be on the AAU team. I don't know what's the gain out of that. If you're paying to be on the AAU team in high school, I think that's a step back.
Okay.
That's tough, Tumer, because everybody don't have that type of money. You know what I'm saying? So if you're paying to be on a team,
they better be playing against y'all in those circuit teams.
Yeah.
Let me say that. This is why I'm saying that. So let me correct myself on that. If you're paying in high school to be on an AAU team, your competition level needs to be playing against the best, not worrying about wins and losses, but getting in front of who's going to be watching those other kids so you can showcase your kids. But if you're paying just to travel around and play and you're not competing against the best of the best, I question that.
See, Tumer, you kind of coming from a different perspective because
I'm coming from a player's perspective.
But just for a second, your skill level, your ability level, your frame of reference, you never had to pay. It was you've always paid for free because you are a real good player. And so
what's the gain out of beating up future doctors and lawyers by 20 and bragging on winning those games at the high school level? Hold on, hear me out real quick. Then you go play against Tony Bradley or Spates, and then you get dragged by 30, and you think your team been good. Now you don't got exposed. What's the benefit of that?
It's not a benefit. I guess my point is
to my high school now. I ain't talking about middle school and elementary.
No, I'm saying so in high school, when you play high school ball away from outdoor, you always played on a high level team, right?
Yeah. But AAU was so different from what it is now. It was way different.
And that's
but
my point.
We didn't spend no money. We didn't pay to play.
That's my point. Because your first thing you were saying about spending money, you didn't have to spend money because of, first of all, how things were set up, your ability level, it was already taken care of. This stuff has got watered down so much now that you have more teams than you did, so it's more spread out, and so there's not necessarily the ability for as many kids to be able to quote unquote play for free. And so you have
it ain't the paying. I'm saying it's who you compete against.
But that's
paying.
No, I'm saying this is my point. Though. This is my point. So say you got a real good player.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he's not able to get connected to a real good circuit team or whatever, an invite type of team. How are you going to get in front of those people? Because you're like a circuit team, like CJ talking about. In order for you to be on a circuit team, it's how many of those teams are around? It's not even a lot of those teams. I guess what I'm saying is different now to the point where if you're trying to get on, in some cases you don't have a choice because how else are you going to do it?
Coach, what's the fun of playing Kelly Red League?
It ain't no fun, Coach.
I'm
not disagreeing with you, Coach. I'm just saying it's not as easy because it's not as many of them, and so the ability to get on one is not the same as it was back in the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. So if I'm paying to be on this team, for example, if Tony Bradley team was costing $300 for each player and they was playing, I know Billy D and Bernardum would go play or try to get into the best of the best tournaments to compete against the college players. Right. Ain't no way Billy D finna tell me he gonna go play in a tournament just to get some open runs. He gonna go down to Kelly Rec and play against whoever in that tournament. He gonna slap himself. He might swing at Bernie if he walked in the gym and say, "Man, what? Hold on, Bernie, I ain't signed up."
First of all, he ain't gonna swing on Bernie, but I get you. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't want to sound like I'm disagreeing with you, but like Walt Mama say, the sheriff say, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, but 2 Nike teams in the whole state. So let's say they got 15-man rosters. That's 30 spots for the entire state of Florida. So it's a realistic chance that number 31 ain't gonna make a team. That don't mean that he ain't played. That just mean ain't no place for him. So then what does he do?
He finds a team that he's gonna pay for, that's gonna guarantee that he plays against those 2 Nike teams.
And all I'm saying is, so that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they gotta pay, is my point. And it's not as easy as it probably would seem. I'm saying, you were saying at first, like if you paying, it's kind of like, and I'm just saying sometimes you have to, was my point. Not that I'm saying nothing about what you're saying. I'm just saying if it's 2 teams in the whole state, like Coach Gibbons said back in the day, how y'all did it. Everybody in the state went to Tampa, and you just lined up and went for what you know. How many good players are gonna get left out in that format? So what do? Then they may have to. And so that's not, all I'm saying is, and it's not as easy to find other players because you could be a dog and you got some trash with you. You're in the same boat, like you said. You still getting drugged by 30 and 50 by Bradley when you go play them.
Yeah.
Hey, so you see what she did?
The EYBL circuit is the top circuit by far. You know what I'm saying? The Adidas Gauntlet is just as competitive. There are actually 3 EYBL teams in Florida, Nike Team Florida, each one teach one, and the Night Riders down south. There are a number of teams on the Adidas Gauntlet, and there's a number of teams on the Under Armour circuit also. Mm-hmm. But like you said, those teams are limited. You know what I'm saying? It's only a certain amount of those teams. They're looking for the next phenom. You know, when you start talking breakdowns on the Under Armour circuit, they have down south on lock, and they're competitive and they stay competitive. I know them two twins that they got down there right now probably going to end up being
McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, exactly. So when you talk about shoe circuit team, you talking about the best of the best. I know when
y'all are not circuit, Billy D, but
no, we're not circuit.
Y'all play against Kelly Rick.
No, we don't.
That's my point.
Know what I'm saying? So outside of the EYBL, we're putting them on those top tournaments in order to get them exposure.
That's my point. So if we're paying to play AAU ball in high school level, I'm trying to get the same tournaments Spates in, Tony Bradley, team Bradley, team Spates, the same tournaments they in. That's what we going. All right, every weekend they going somewhere. That's where we going. Or I need my money back because the Kelly Red League ain't working. Kelly Red League ain't where it's supposed to be at, cuz. You get my point now?
No, I always got your point. I wasn't disagreeing with you at all.
Yeah, we definitely know that. We need to get know Miss Walt's mom name so we don't pronounce it wrong because I'm scared to even say it wrong. You know, you see the lady's name wrong.
I don't want to keep saying Walt Mama. I want to call her name. I tried to put
what's Walt's mom name, man? How you pronounce Billy D? How you pronounce Walt's mom name?
He on the phone talking to somebody.
I do not know how to pronounce her last name.
I'm saying the first name. I'm scared of the first name. I mean the last name. I'm just going with the first name.
I think it's Miss Sherry.
I said Miss Sherry. And I apologize. If we saying it wrong, Miss Sherry, we apologize, but we don't want to keep saying Walt Mama. We want to make sure call you back.
I call you Walt Mama all day. Hey, Walt Mama said.
Hey, but and the thing is, we know that, and that's the new thing that they'll start doing too. And I agree with you on that, TJ. But they done started with the trial fee. So if you're gonna try, you got to pay that trial fee, which is another money making. You can't knock that. But I guess my point is, if you got two teams and you got 60 kids in the gym, and let's just say 45. Okay, she said we're okay to call her Walk Mom. Okay, so Walk Mom. If we got 60 people show up and 45 of them can play, but you only got two teams, then simple math, 15 of them not going to make it. So 15 pretty good kids not going to make the team. And so I was just saying, my point was not disagreeing with you, is at what point then, I totally agree with you. If I'm a top kid and I'm trying to be the top, then I got to go where the competition at. And so that's your point, is don't be going to Kelly, don't be going to, to the YMCA talking about I'm trying to get better. You ain't playing. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, even if they're not playing, even if they don't make those teams, you got options like Spates, Bradley. So even if you don't make those teams, like they have open trials and they don't charge. Do y'all charge for trials, Billy?
No.
So even if you don't make Spates Bradley's team, all right, next is paying to play on the travel team, correct?
Right. Yes, sir. And the thing is, those trials for those big shoe teams where they're charging to pay, that's a money maker too. Yeah, they already know who they want, especially for the 17 and under team, and most of the time the 16 and under team. They already know who they want, so that's just a money maker too. Every now and then, a kid will walk in the gym they didn't know about, then it's worth it. But most of the time, they already have their teams picked. They've been recruiting. They start recruiting now. You know what I'm saying, for those major shoe teams.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, all right, I didn't make Tony Bradley's team. I didn't make Maurice Spates' team. All right. Now we have to pay to play. I want to sit down with this coach as a parent. I want to sit down with the coach and be like, hey, I know my kid's not playing on the circuit, the high level circuit. I know my kid didn't try out missed the trials for this team here, but they compete at the major level tournaments. Is your team traveling and competing in the same type of tournament they're playing in? Or are you that coach that just brags on winning those little Kelly Rec leagues? Because the kid ain't got no better. and ain't nobody finna look at the kid. So now you gonna see the coach bragging about, oh, we went to such and such. We went to Dallas. It's a million tournaments. We went to Dallas. You just played the Kelly Rate League in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So how did the kid get better? I want to see the kids get better. I want to see the kids compete because I think people got a misunderstanding of how AAU is supposed to be. AAU is not just about winning every tournament. It's about competing and getting better all summer against the best players. You know what I'm saying? I used to always, you remember when I threw the fire out there? I remember the fire was doing YBOA and U-Trip, and when Ken and them got that 4th grade team with Ray Davis, them, we was at the Boys and Girls Club. I say, hey man, y'all gotta stop this. Go over there and compete and see where your players really can play at. Go over to Easter and play over there. He was like, oh man, we ain't ready for that. They went ahead and decided to do it. Went over there and won the tournament. Won state AAU. You know what I'm saying? So compete against those. Even if you don't win, you're playing against the top level players, so your kids will understand what the type of work they got to put in. Don't make me pay to go compete against Kelly Rec. I'm dunking on Kelly Rec guys. I'm showing that, and I still ain't getting no offers, no looks.
It becomes a question of what you trying to get out of it, and that's what you're saying. If I'm trying to be a high level player, then I got to go find the work, and I totally agree with that. You know, for a fact, that's how I brought CJ up. So I ain't disagreeing with you at all. That you got to go find the competition, and you got to see where you're at, and if that's what you're gonna do, and you know that's where you're at, and if not, then you know you got some work to do. So I totally agree with you on that.
I just look at coach. I look at what Billy D has done as a coach. I look at I seen him coaching on that level. I know like if he was in that shoes of having that coach desire again, whether he was charging the team or not, he's gonna go compete. He's not gonna worry about the wins and losses. He's gonna make each kid better as a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? And he can care less. I mean, everybody wants to win, but if you go in that gym and you go in that gym and you compete against those guys and you lose, you can tell your players, yo, this is what we got to do to get better. This is the level you want to play on. You know what I'm saying? Not the video mode. I don't want to see the videos. I want to see you competing. I want to see you get better so the kids can understand. I do it with the step team. We don't just go to you know how that is. We don't just go to no doo-wop competition to go win. No, what the best at? This is where you get to see how much you have to get better. We missing that point now. From just on the level of AAU, we missing that. It's about competing. It ain't always about winning. You know what I'm saying? You see the parents posting, oh, we just won this tournament. Who was there? Man, y'all played against Kelly Rec players, man. Come on. Let's
and on top of that, Tumer, you know, especially with them younger teams, we always challenged our younger team. We moved up.
See, that's the other thing, coach, that they don't get. That y'all used to do even when you play on the younger level and you go into 1,000 tournaments and they pure D garbage tournaments, move up. Play up. Don't play at your level. That prepares you for state. I can't remember the team from Miami on Barnes that we used to have to we played against. They were 6th grade, and I was coaching with the Fire. I think the 7th grade.
It was the baby blue team.
Never played on their level.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. They had the little light skinned dude that ended up going to Carolina.
Yeah.
7th Woods or something like that was the kid name. But yeah, I remember they always
played every AAU tournament. They
never played
until state
and they bracket. Yeah,
and they won. They would dominate their 6th grade state tournament. They always played up, even if they got beat by 40. They left out that gym competing, even if it was for a half.
Some of them they won though. Some of them they won.
Some of them they won.
Yeah, they competed. Yeah, I remember that.
But see, that's when you, as a coach, that's when you know you can get the best out your players when you challenge. It gets old to just go to tournaments and just play against your level over and over again if it ain't national exposure. I'm moving up. We gonna get
that much. If you're that much better than them, yeah, that you gotta challenge. You gotta challenge yourself. I agree with that.
Yeah, I ain't playing on my level. Billy D ain't played there. They moved up. I mean, we had Austin them. Them guys played up every tournament. I think the only one they didn't play up was like Boo Williams the big ones. But
Yeah, the EYBL circuit.
Yeah, they played up. They played up. They were playing 17s and 16s. Win or lose, you got to get it, and they were winning games, but they were competing against the top level players.
Yeah. Well, that's Tumer's takes, and I don't know. We just gonna segue right into the coach's corner, so we already got everybody riled up. So let's not.
I know people don't like to hear the truth. People like to hear the truth, and Coach Billy D on his coach's corner, he be a nice guy sometimes. So I threw a little Tumer take in there with the coaching, with the AAU. So I called out some AAU coaches, go compete. You know,
they make it a little different by coach.
I see when you get back from Canada and you get back from hanging out with Drake and you start AAU up, your sixth grader gonna be playing seventh grade level. We're gonna be calling you out. You ain't playing on the regular level no more, cuz.
All right, well, but on that, we got Coach's Corner. So, Coach Billy D, what's on your mind? We see what's on Tumer mind. What's on your mind?
All right, Coach's Corner topic this week is stop giving out participation trophies. I heard that everybody that's participating in football makes the playoffs. Like, what sense does that make? I need to know what y'all take. I can go 0-8 this season, but it's okay because it's a random drawing on where I get seated at in the playoffs. What's y'all take on that?
I definitely don't agree with that. Well, is it because of Miami not participating?
Well, just to segue into that, which is why I wanted Coach to kind of start it off. I don't know if y'all saw, but I saw it this Monday. Broward County and Palm Beach County decided to opt out of the state series for the fall, so they're not participating. And yesterday, I saw where Miami-Dade left it up to each individual school. So Miami Central and Northwestern opted in. Miami Columbus and Booker T. Washington opted out. And those was 4 of the 8 state champs from last year. 4 of them came from Dade County. So it's some Dade County schools that's going to be in. It's no Broward County or Palm Beach will be in. So now.
But just think about that, boys. No Broward County. St. Thomas Aquinas
and Palm Beach decided to opt out.
St. Thomas
Aquinas is in Broward.
For the fall. This Monday for the state series for the fall. Broward County joined Palm Beach County to decide to opt out of FHSAA state series this fall.
So St. Thomas ain't in it then?
They in Broward.
Hey, so let me ask you, because he asked how we take. How am I gonna go watch a team that got beat 82-0? We got 2 teams in the county got beat 82-0, and they in the playoffs.
They in the playoffs. So these teams are gonna make the playoffs for the first time in maybe in school history.
Let Region break history. They already made the playoffs before.
So they step into the playoffs. They gonna get beat. They gonna get 100 put on them.
Well, that's the thing.
Who wants to watch them get beat 100-0?
Listen, the draw. This the thing, though, Tumer.
They can get the number 1 seed.
Both the teams that lost 82-0 could pull each other first round.
Who gonna go see that trash?
But this the trick though. You can end up with Lakeland and daggone Bloomingdale playing first round. So you can have one of those 2 teams who the favorite get knocked out, and the two teams that got to be 82 bucks make it to the second round.
Well, listen, they need to call that the COVID tournament, not the big tournament. That's officially called the COVID tournament.
And that's my thing. Like, why are we giving out participation trophies, man? Yeah. If they don't deserve to be there, then they shouldn't be in the playoffs. Like, it got to be a better way. It has to be a better way. What are we promoting with everybody's eligible to make the playoffs as long as they opt in?
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
What we got to pray for.
I'm not for the COVID tournament.
Coach, the ACC basketball coaches had put out, and the NCAA shut it down, a proposal to let all 355 teams make it into the NCAA tournament. So the NCAA shut that down because that was going to be a participation tournament. It could possibly be this same setup for the spring, which would then impact basketball.
COVID tournament.
So we was gonna do this last week, but since we own teams and performance right now. Just to get y'all take on it. What I thought we'll do is just do an over-under. We ain't betting or nothing on kids or teams, but over-under right now. If I give you the team name, tell you what their record was last year, you tell me what do you think they're going to have a better record, worse record, playoffs or no?
Oh, I'm ready for this.
All right. I'm just random teams. All right. Last year, Discovery, they was 14-11. They picked up the kid from Winter Haven Christian that averaged like 20-something game last year. They picked up Ruth from Winter Haven. They lost the Dupree kid to Arbondale. 14-11. You over under. They're gonna be better. 14 wins. They're gonna improve on 14 wins.
They go 20. They go 20 and they go 20-7.
20 wins.
Yeah, I give them 20.
Coach Billy, so over. Coach Billy D, what you got?
I got an over on the 14, but not that high. But I do have them making the playoffs. They their district is a favorable one for them, but I do have them over the 14 though.
You know why I gave him 20 wins? Because I hope he's a smart coach and give him 4 games. That's cakewalk.
I talked to coach. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's tough for coaches to get games. Like I know last time I talked to him, he had a bunch of games that he had to find. So hopefully he don't fill the schedule. But right now, man, it's not a lot on the website, and it's not a lot of people talking, about filling those games. So I'm curious on what happened with that.
Yeah, I give him 19 to 20 wins. I give him 20.
All right,
but he's favored to win that district in my opinion. He's favored to win that district this year.
Okay. Hardy. Last year, Hardy was 20-5. Hardy Brains Bite. They top 8 guys from last year. So they top 8 guys all come back 20-5. They didn't make the playoffs last year. What you think?
Well, first of all, I hope he's scheduled to make the playoffs instead of scheduling just to win the 20 games. Because if he bringing back all those guys, I can see him winning 20 games again.
Well, I know he got a tougher schedule than he had last year. I've talked to him. I haven't seen him, but I've talked to him. He added some folks to the schedule that helped with the schedule.
And that's why I got them on the under 20 games, but I actually got them making the playoffs. I see him around 17 or 18, but with the tougher schedule, he should be able to make the playoffs.
Okay. I agree. Definitely make it.
Haines City. Haines City was 9.
Hey, go ahead and finish out, cuz. I'm ready to give you mine about Haines City. Crawford coaching, cuz. Put some respect on Haines City's name, cuz.
Okay, Haines City was 9-17 last year. They lost like 7 kids that was coming back. I'm trying, coach. They lost like 7 kids to transfers, but they got a new coach. Coach Crawford is taking over. We over under for Haines City.
I got them even. They'll win 9 games again.
Even.
I got them under, coach. I don't think they win 9. That's a lot of people to replace. But I do tell you this, that some of those kids that are returning, they motivated by their number 20 ranking. Saying, they felt disrespected by that. But I think they'll be inspired. They'll play hard on the Crawford. But I don't see them winning 9 games this year.
Playoffs?
No. Playoffs?
I got to ask a question.
Playoffs?
Man, only if they
all you gotta do is be good for 1 or 2 games to get to the playoffs.
Man, only if it's participation, coach. That's the only way they can.
So if they in the if it's a COVID tournament, but if it's regular, no.
COVID tournament, they get in.
All right, Lake Gibson. Last year, Lake Gibson was 15-12, made it to the playoffs. They lost 8 seniors and they had 2 kids transfer. Over on 15 wins, up or down. Playoffs, yes or no?
Definitely no for the playoffs. I think they'll win 8 games. That's a kill.
I'm with Tumer on that one. You know, I got him under. What you said, 15 games. Definitely got them under 15 games, and they don't make the playoffs. Yeah. I'm curious on, you know, how those kids and how that coach respond with losing so much.
Okay.
Yeah, they win 8 games though. I give them 8 games.
8 games. All right. Next is Lakeland Christian. Lakeland Christian was 16-11 last year. They bring back their top 7 guys from last year. And they added a transfer from a kid, the Longenberger kid, the point guard. So over under 16 games, playoffs, yes or no?
I'm gonna say this first. They're gonna split with Santa Fe. They're gonna split. Tough. They're gonna beat Santa Fe at home. If they play Santa Fe early, they're gonna beat them at home. I'm gonna be the first to say it now.
You're on the record, because that's a district game. You're on the record.
They're gonna split in the regular season. Santa Fe gonna beat them in the district tournament. They're going to split in the regular season. All right. I got them winning 20 games.
Okay. I got them over 17, definitely. I'm looking at like 18 or 19. But I do actually having them get into the playoffs. Coach got a good squad up there. I'm curious on how he's going to put, you know, those additions to work. And they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough, so.
They probably got the best 3-headed monster that nobody knew about, and Longenberger, Kramer, and Jake Fox. Just watch what I say. People don't really watch a person like that, but them
kids can shoot the ball though. Them kids can really shoot the ball.
Hey, so. That home game gonna be crucial. They gonna upset Santa Fe at home.
You got a couple people. You got one of this. You got one of Santa Fe assistant coaches on here saying he can't wait.
So hey, we can't wait either.
Sebring 21-7 last year. Made it to the Final Four. They lost like 6 guys to graduation. They lost Alvin to transfer. 21-7. Over under playoffs? Yes or no?
No playoffs. They win 8 games.
I got them on.
You think Haynes City beat Sebring?
Yeah.
I got them on the under too, but definitely over 10 games. And I don't think Haynes City will beat them if they play.
Polk County, y'all got to show Crawford some love, man.
Okay, I'm a realist too. You know what I'm saying? So you had Lakeland Christian winning that game, so I definitely have Sebring winning that game against Haynes City. So, but it definitely under 20 games, they won't be a Final 14. Coach Princeton will do a great job down there. I think they'll be around 500.
Okay. Ridge 18-10 last year. Ridge brought back their top 3 kids from last year, and they brought in 7 transfers, 18 wins, over under playoffs, yes or no?
I got them making the playoffs. It's kind of hard to tell you where they're going to be at. I don't know the schedule. I think they over probably a game. They win 19 games. I definitely think they make the playoffs, though. Might be more.
Actually, I think their record is going to be about the same. I'm pretty sure Coach learned his, he walked into that situation last year. So I don't think he really had control over the schedule that he had. Hopefully, this year he scheduled some tough teams to give him that push with, strength of schedule in order to make the playoffs. I know Coach Alexander stepped down at Osceola. I know Windermere Prep is really tough. I see them making the playoffs and possibly getting to the regional final in that top class.
I think the fact that the Osceola's coach stepped down was a major assist to Ridge's chances. Windermere's going to be tough, like you said. Windermere got a really good team, but coach got some players over there, and we know about Jude. Well, people learn about Jude. People don't really know about Champ unless you're from that side of the county, but Champ pretty good. They got a good PG in Coleman, and they brought a lot of guys in. So like we were saying kind of about Santa Fe, he can pull all them guys together and they have them all going the same direction. He definitely got some pieces. he got some pieces. So, all right, next up, Mulberry. Mulberry won 2 games last year. One kid was second team all county. He led the county scoring like 29 a game. He graduated. So over under playoffs, yes or no?
They won 2 games last year.
Yeah,
They're even. They'll win 2 games again.
I'm actually agreeing with Tumer on that. You lost your best scorer with 29 a game. How you gonna replace that? You know, I'm curious to see if anybody step up with that type of production. But 2 games, maybe 3 games at the most. But I'm with Tumer, 2 games out of Mulberry, and definitely no playoffs.
gotcha. All right, Jenkins. Last year, Jenkins was 19-9, made it to the playoffs, won the district. No, they didn't win the district. They won a district tournament. They didn't win the regular season. But they lost seven guys to graduation, 7 or 8 to graduation. Best, they top returning player transferred. Over under 19 playoffs, yes or no?
Well, first of all, we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of the schools you finna start naming, and everybody gonna say we hating and all this and that. So let's be clear. Ain't nobody hating. We giving our opinions. All right. Jenkins win 12 games. They don't make the playoffs.
I'm with Tumer. They under. That's just too much that they lost and too much to replace. The great thing that Coach Jenner do a great job over there. They'll be coached well. They'll play hard. I see them around 13, 14 games, maybe even 15.
Lake Region last year was 15-9. They lost six guys to graduation. They bring back Skill. They bring back Harvard. They got the transfer kid on the transfer guard from Arvindale, the Smith kid. So 15 wins, over under playoffs, yes or no?
I like them making the playoffs.
I think they'll be around the same. You know what I'm saying? 15, 16 wins, but I don't see them making the playoffs.
I think they make the playoffs. They in the same as Lake Gibson, right?
They in the district with Lake Gibson.
They make the playoffs.
Lake Gibson, Sebring, Arvindale, Lake Wells, Hardy, they all in the same district.
I don't see them making the playoffs.
That's the only all Polk County district because we consider Sebring and Hardy Polk County. That's the only all Polk County district in the county.
I got Arvindale and Hardy are the only ones coming out of that district.
3 teams can come out though. Then last year,
it can be 4 or 5 can come out based off the thing. You know how the new setup is.
That's tough. But I think they make it. I gotta make it.
I understand what you're saying, but like I said, strength of schedule, who you beat, all of that plays into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I only like Arvindale and Hardy to come out that district.
Okay. McKeel 9-15 last year. They lost their best player, transferred to Lakeland Christian. They bring back 2 or 3 other kids that was either honorable mention all county or were all county. 9-15. They got a new coach in, Coach Bud. Over under 9 wins, playoffs, yes or no?
Definitely no playoffs.
Definitely no playoffs, and I got under 9 wins. Like I said, you got a new coach. You got to break in new players. They lost D to Winter Haven also. I just don't see it. Braden's going to Lakeland Christian. It's going to be a building year. I definitely see him up under 9 wins.
Yeah, I gotta agree with my dog over there. I don't see nothing. They ain't shaking nothing.
All right, well, segued in right to Winter Haven from, you said Winter Haven last year was 23-9, made it to the regional semis. They lost about 4 kids to graduation. They lost 2 kids to transfer. They lost Dylan James to the Rock. They lost Marquise Rue to Discovery. They returned, the guards. They real guard heavy with Rowe and Tyler and Ventrell. 23 wins. Over under playoffs, yes or no?
Well, the football team, sorry, ain't it? They can blow out. So they won't have to worry about the playoffs. So they'll get their boys back.
Not really. Remember, it's a participation, bro. Everybody get in. Everybody get in. That's what I was trying to tell you. Everybody get in the playoffs.
I got them winning 19 to 20 games because they might not have the football guys in basketball shape. And depending on how they schedule, I don't think he's scheduled knowing that the point guard Hardy was going to play football. So I think they're going to struggle at the beginning because those guys are going to be out. Well, they're not going to be out because they're going to lose first round in football. But it's going to be a struggle. I got them 19 games. They're going to lose 4 or 5 games because of that. They make the playoffs.
I got them under 23 games. I was thinking 19 or 20, right along with Tumer. And they definitely make the playoffs.
Man, what we got going on, man? We agreed on a whole lot today, ain't it?
Yeah, I know, man. Something in the air or something. But, you know.
All right. Billy D, we coming to your bite though. Lake Wells. Last year, Lake Wells they won 3 games. They returned Gatlin, top 22 kid. It was first year for Coach Banks last year, so his second year he done had a whole year to be with the guys. He didn't lose a lot. I don't think he brought a lot in. So 3 wins, over under playoffs, yes or no?
Definitely no playoffs, but they'll be better. I see them over 3 wins, but I still see them under 10 wins. Definitely under 10.
I give him 5. Because that's your cousin, I'm going to give him 5 wins. Just because that's your cousin, and I know you're going to go to one practice, I'm going to give him 5 wins.
All right, next up, Victory. Last year, Victory won 11 games. Victory lost the Milan kid went prep. The big German kid still in Germany. They do got a couple guards returning. They got a transfer from Lake Gibson. So guard the Ricketts kid. So over under 11 wins, playoffs, yes or no?
Nah, Victory win 11 games again, man. No playoffs.
So you got Victory.
I think it's all according to how he's scheduled. It's all according to how he's scheduled. He actually had some tough games last year. And if he got the same type of schedule, he's going to be around the same. But I see him over 11 wins, not by many, but definitely no playoffs because I don't think the kid going to make it back from Germany.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't think playoffs either. I remember we was talking about he had to be poor.
All right. Next, Frostproof. Frostproof was 9-10 last year. Frostproof brought back pretty much they whole team. They was young though. They were real young. So 9 wins, over under playoffs, yes or no?
Do Frostproof ever win more than 9 games?
They pretty consistent in that. In that
9 game area.
that 500 area for the last couple of years, they've been about 500.
Yeah, they don't win. They don't go 500.
Coach Simmons, I just call him out. That's your man, Coach Billy D and Tumer. Coach Simmons say y'all hard on his Highlanders, big coach.
What you talking about? I'm a Highlander, but I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. Even his little cousin in Bartow. Come on now. Come on, classmate. You know what I'm saying? Your cousin took that kid to Bartow. You know what I'm saying? He'll be starting in Lake Wells right now. You know, but the parent did the best thing for that child. I mean, come on, man.
Who in Bartow?
Larry Bagley.
I ain't know
he went last year. Yeah, they got 2 kids from Lake Wells last year.
Dang.
Busting them in now. Busting them in.
You know? So I understand, but I'm gonna be a realist in this too. You know, Tumer always say I'm being too nice. I'm being real today.
Hey, being real. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. Lakeland. Last year, Lakeland won 20 games, made it to the playoffs. Second round, they lost 5 seniors. Lost Pat and AJ, 3-year starters. They brought in a couple transfers. They got a kid from McKill, kid from Georgia Christian Prep. 20 wins, over on the playoffs, yes or no?
I don't got to win 20. I got to win like 18. I think he make the playoffs because he'll play a district championship. But losing Trey, that was tough.
Coach, who in that district?
That
Kathleen.
district is Kathleen Lakeland Jenkins, Strawberry Crest, not Strawberry Crest, Strawberry Crest, Plant City, and Onwood.
He's definitely under from the number of games.
His schedule hard. I forgot. He's scheduled.
He's definitely under.
Yeah.
But he will have a chance to win that district and make the playoff. I will give that because Coach Hen doing a great job over there, even with the kids that he have, and they're gonna play hard, so they'll have a chance to make the playoff. But I don't see them.
Favorite to win district. I got with the teams we just named. I got Lakeland to win that district, but I don't have him winning 20 games.
He lost Trey, which is risky, but he got a couple of kids back that was playing well for him last year and ended up not finishing. So, like you said, but he does have an aggressive schedule.
He was pretty good too. So I'm curious on how those kids come in and be able to contribute.
His schedule was made for Trey. His schedule was made with Trey, man. That's gonna be a change. Like he playing some dogs.
But I tell you what, though, them like young kids that Anthony kid that he got coming in, he's setting himself up to have a program. He's definitely setting himself up to have a program. So in a couple of years, he ain't gonna be knocking on the door.
What I did, Jay.
All right, next. I don't want my East Polk County people to say I'm hating. So last year, Fort Meade won 13 games. They lost. I think they top returning kid transferred to Hardy. I think they top kid from last year graduated. So Fort Meade 13 over under playoffs. Yes or no?
No playoffs.
And under 14. Right. And I didn't give mine on Frostproof. Frostproof's been actually playing. He's been keeping that team together all summer. I see them over what they have, but I don't see them making the playoffs.
So you see him finally breaking a 9-game win streak?
Yes, it'll be double digits. It'll be double digits.
All right. Tenor Rock. Tenor Rock won 4 games last year. I think they top 2 or 3 players come back, and they won the Polk Hoops game of the year last year. That's the game where it was like 106 to 101, where like the game ended with like 4 people on one team and
who they beat?
On another team. I think it was Mulberry.
Oh man, what we talking about, man?
Over under. Hey man, we gotta call them out there in the county. So 4 wins over.
Big bro got a tough situation over there at Tenor Rock, man. Tenor Rock win 3 games, man, 3 or 4. I ain't getting excited about Tenor Rock, man. I forgot all about Tenor Rock had a school over there, basketball team.
Coach, over under, coach.
Man, I got him winning the same, especially if he kept his schedule the same. You know what I'm saying? It's tough over there for Alvin, bro.
He beat him over there.
He made the playoffs last year.
Oh, he what?
He made the playoffs.
With 4 wins?
Cause everybody go to district. He upset Lake Placid somebody. He upset somebody in that district, and he ended up. I mean, he lost the first round, but he made it.
Well, he'll make the playoffs again then.
Jordan Christian Prep won the independent state championship last year. They won like 23 games. Over under playoffs, yes or no?
Hey, you're a nice guy talking about Jordan Christian Prep, man. I don't even know.
Man,
Jordan Christian Prep, man. Until you started Polk Hoops, I'm going to be honest. Until you started Polk Hoops, I had never heard of a Jordan Christian Prep. I cannot make a comment on a team I never heard about. So I'm staying out of this one. I'm going to leave this one to Coach Billy D.
Oh, man.
You want the truth? Or you can't the truth?
I mean, man, this is a tough one. You know what I'm saying? What are we measuring here? Like, I mean, they under a whole nother set of rules. You know?
Yeah, I can't believe you brought them up. Like, what?
Hey man, we just
I mean, no disrespect to them. Hey, shout out to them for winning their championship. And
they won the ship. They let me know that Bartow not the only state champ in Polk County. I got that message.
You know what? Hey, I know it's funny, but let's honestly, when the last time in a basketball conversation have we talked about Jordan Christian Prep before Polk Super started? I never heard of it. You didn't even. I didn't know it was a Winter Haven Christian or something, man. It's just certain schools you don't talk about, man. Like they ain't even in the they ain't even in the same.
Coach Austin say they got 3 good kids, one from Bartow, one from Arbondale, and one from Haven. They could play at those schools.
Coach Austin, what you want, a cookie? You want a cookie for telling us that?
I mean, it's no disrespect to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they just not a part of.
Exactly.
You know, so it's kind of hard to gauge.
Abstain from talking about them. I can do that.
No,
I didn't want
to be honest,
I didn't bring them up.
To be honest, I hope they are a 20-game, winning team. They win the state championship again. But
do they play any Polk County teams though?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. I can't talk if you in Polk and you're not playing any Polk County teams. It's hard for me to talk about you.
I know they was trying to call people out this summer, saying that they wouldn't return phone calls and things of that nature. I wonder who do they actually get.
Hey man,
props, Coach Austin. We talking about him right now.
That's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say I could have won the lottery this morning if I'd have went and played it.
Yeah. So, all right. So the last 4. Say the best, I guess, the most that we're going to be talking about for last. First, Arbondale. Last year, Arbondale was 14-14. They made it to the playoffs. Coach lost about 3 kids, but he brought in about 7. He brought in Plenty from Payne City, brought in Diego from Jenkins. And so we saying, and Coach been looking for people, calling people out. Been playing all summer with his guys. Over, under, playoffs, yes or no?
Yes, I got him doing both. And I put the pressure on E. He hyped up the schedule everybody he can. He got to make it a state, man. He got to get there. So I think he wins. I think he wins 20 games. I think he's the 20-game guy. He wins 22 games and makes it and makes the playoffs.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say hey to Miss Brandy. Let my girl Kaya know I love her and she keep doing work out there in Kansas. I'm definitely keeping up with her. It's a lot of pressure on E this year. My thing is White House or bust. Like E has a chance to actually break that mold and actually get there. And it's going to be a lot of pressure on him, and I'm going to hold him to it. He's definitely should be a 20-win season for him. But, he's got to make the Final Four this year. Definitely got to make the Final Four this
year. Okay. Segue next, Kathleen. Last year, Kathleen won district, 18 wins. He lost a lot of people. He lost his big loss. He lost KJ to Bartow. He graduated 7 guys, graduated 7 seniors. Gonna be real young this year. So he returned Thomas Shaw, a lot of young guys. So 18 wins, over, under, playoff.
No, he ain't winning 18 games. No. Definitely. I told Coach Broke that. So they ain't winning 18 games and playoffs. Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Y'all,
he ain't had problems with them last year. Them guys confident they can beat Lakeland. They can win this and get in the playoffs. They ain't win 18 games.
Let me clarify this for you, talk, Coach Billy D. Kathleen won the regular season district. Jenkins won the district championship. Coach Davis, I clarified that I know, but I know that all folks really see is who win the tournament. But Kathleen won the regular season. That's how they got the 1 seed. Jenkins won the championship in the district tournament. So my bad on that. All right, Coach Billy D.
How many wins they had last season?
18.
Don't see them winning 18. I think they can be 16-win team. I'm definitely confident that Coach Shaw can pull it together and make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they can make the playoffs.
Their JV team was actually pretty tough. I like them young kids. And Monte kid, Marcellus should have a huge breakout season. You know what I'm saying? He's primed up for that. But I'm curious on how they respond. You know, are they gonna make an excuse or are they gonna respond? You know, and I know Coach Shaw don't make excuses. I know what era he came from. So I expect them to be tough. I expect them to still get in the playoffs.
Now, are you saying that because Monty your best friend?
No.
Because you ain't hyped that.
I'm not saying that.
You say no other kids having a huge breakout year now.
I'm just saying, though, he should. KJ's gone. You know what I'm saying? Should him and Shaw.
I'm messing with you and Monty, man. I'm just messing
him and Shaw should have big years over there. You know what I'm saying?
I see Monty having a big year.
Monty boy set up to get 18 to 20 a game because
I don't think he get 18.
He the first option on that team. Who the first who got
they didn't have nobody average 18 and 20 games last year. No.
But they was more spread out last year, that's what I'm saying to them.
Nah, you average 12. You average 12.
That's what I'm saying. Last year they had more guys. It was more spread out. They don't have as many guys, at least early on right now. That's my point.
Shaw.
Hey, but he can't afford to average 12. He can't afford to average 12. He has to be a killer this year. He has to be over 15, you know, without a doubt. Like I'm with Barnes. He has to average 17 or 18 for that team to be all the way competitive. You know what I'm saying? And Shaw got to follow up with that.
How much did he average this summer?
Again?
Look, I wonder how much he averaged this summer.
But what I'm saying, my point is the team that he was on this summer and the team he's gonna be on at Kathleen is like who there's no options right now. There's nobody proven. There's no options on the team. So he has to be the first option.
Even Monty agreed with me. 12 points.
Listen. I'm telling you that it's gonna be there because where else is the offense coming from?
Hey, he ain't averaging 18.
It's kind of like the same thing. It's just like the kid at what's name. I'm not saying the kid at Jenkins, the Rama kid, gonna get 18 a game, but he the first option. There's nobody else out there to take shots.
Okay. But listen, remember what we said about Trey? What y'all say about Trey playing the point guard position? His stats gonna go what?
Go down.
Okay, he got to run the point guard. He's not.
They say Monty Boy run the point. They got a point.
Oh, all right.
Just telling you what the report is that Monty Boy ain't got the point.
I'm agreeing with you, Monty. He averaged 12 a game.
My thing is he has to have that killer mentality in order to maximize that team.
I just if you look at that team, at the end of the day, we all know that you still got to score points to win unless you just giving up 40 or less a game.
That's why I said attention early on. That's why I said it. That's why I keep saying attention. I'm just giving a little credit that they'll make it attention. Yeah. He's gonna average 12 points, bro. He ain't not gonna average 18. No.
I think he gotta be around 15 to him. He has to be. For that team to be a playoff team, he has to be around 15.
Well, they won't make the playoffs.
Whether he does it or not, I'm saying that based on the fact, and that's what I think Coach saying, whether he get 18 or 20 a game, you figure he got to because he the first option. I mean, if he don't get it, where's it going? And Coach may know something that we don't know. Coach Shaw might got some cooking that we don't know about, but just on paper, on the surface, I mean, it's Monty, it's Shaw, and then it's who? Like offensively. I mean, they got some guys that are scrapping, that are going to play hard and going to work hard, but boy, it's like putting the ball in the basket on a consistent basis at the varsity level. It's just unproven right now. So that's all. That's not saying it's going to happen, but that's the thought process. All right, Santa Fe. Last year, Santa Fe, 27 wins, made it to the regional finals. They lost their entire starting five. They brought back 2 kids from the team last year, but they brought in 6 transfers. They brought in All-State Alvin from Sebring. They brought in All-County Trey from Lakeland. Over under 27 playoffs. Yes or no?
They definitely make the playoffs. They definitely don't win. They definitely only win 20 games. They not gonna win 27 games. Yeah.
I agree with Tumer. I see them around 22 games actually. Um, they'll win around 22 games. They'll make the playoff. They're the best team in that district. Although Tumer got them losing one to Lakeland Christian. My thing is does he have enough pieces to get to the White House? You know, and I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
Coach McGriff feel like they do.
Coach McGriff sleep. Wake him up.
You know, I don't know, Coach. I don't know, Coach.
As good as y'all got them up to be.
Coach McGriff sleep. Wake him up.
I'm just telling you, when we talk, Coach McGriff says it's his job to know the state better than anybody. Them people down south is not invincible. Them people from Santa Fe can beat the teams this year with what they got. They brought in.
Hey, Five Guy Burger sale, they give you free peanuts.
Man, that. Coach better have a state series card because that's the only way you get in there.
He got Trey. He say Trey gonna play the point. You know, we've been talking about who gonna play the point. He verified that this week on Twitter in a conversation they had with Coach Robinson that Trey gonna be the point guard. So he got us a PG.
I'm telling you though, Trey gonna have a monster year. Alvin's gonna be who he is, but can they put it together is the question. And the gauntlet they have to go through, I don't know, Coach. So what if you play all three of them teams that's tough down south every round of the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? That is possible that can happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you play Calvary Christian first and then have to meet St. Andrew second and then meet Shamadar the third round, like that's tough.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
Five Guys give away free peanuts. Remember I said that. Tell McGriff that. Tell Coach McGriff that. Five Guys give away free peanuts when you go in there to order your hamburger.
All right.
But they're gonna be tough. They're definitely gonna be tough. They're gonna be right now. I got them, 1 and 2 in the county. So,
okay. And last but not least, Bartow, 31 wins last year, won state. They lost 5 seniors. They returned everybody else. They brought in KJ from Kathleen, brought in Dewberry from Avon Park. Over under 31 wins, playoffs, yes or no?
They definitely won't win 30. They won't go 32-1 again. That ain't happening.
No, especially when you in the city of Palms, that's just not gonna happen. Yeah. My thing is, I believe that this team is gonna be better because of the schedule that McGriff put together. Yeah, so they won't have the record that last year's team had, but they'll be tougher because of it though.
Yeah, they'll be state. I got them. They win the state. I said that earlier. They're gonna win state. I don't think they're gonna win 32 games because they're gonna lose in the city of Palms, but they're gonna compete. But they and then like you said, it's schedule. I mean, you never know who he's gonna have in the Mount Verde. Not in Mount Verde, but in what's the tournament that he holds at the Mosaic? Yeah, he gonna play the best team. He gonna get the best team to come. Yeah, I see 27, 26. They 27-3, something like that. I can see them at that record, but 30-1, nah, that ain't happening.
Nah, I mean his schedule not set up for it. Because I know when we got invited to the State of the Palms, me and Hay. We talked about it. We didn't tell the kids. We wanted to come out 500, but we ended up coming out over 500, and that's the reason why we got ranked, in the nation after that. But, you playing top-level competition down there, so for him to compete and get better, that's going to be a great experience for them. And like I said, I actually think this year's team could be better than last year's team.
Not record-wise, but just...
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Okay,
so last year's team didn't play top teams in the country. Because of their success last year, they rewarded this opportunity. So.
All right. So to recap, y'all got Arbell making the playoffs. Jenkins, no. Lake Wells, no. Lake Gibson, no. Kathleen, yes. Winter Haven, yes. Sebring, no. Ridge, yes. Haines City, no. Frostproof, no. Discovery, yes. Lake Region, y'all said yes and no. Ten Rock, no. Lakeland, yes. Hardee, yes. Mulberry, no. McKeel, no. Fort Meade, no. Lakeland Christian, yes. Victory, no. Santa Fe, yes. Bartow, yes. Making the playoffs. All right. So I got something I want to talk about real quick before we jump off. It's kind of football related, but it could translate into basketball. It was a real major thing happened this week, a couple days ago. We kind of talked about it off the air. Deion Sanders got named the new head coach at Jackson State. What do y'all think, just on the surface, are the ramifications of that, and how, if any, do you think that might trickle over to basketball with him deciding to become a head coach of a guy like Deion taking over HBCU program?
I don't think it goes over to basketball because football is just so popular. But I think it's huge for football. I do think that. I think he's a player's coach. So I think that's a huge part of it. Like, a lot of guys gonna want to play for prime time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that makes basketball any valuable. I don't. But I like the move. I mean, that's probably the biggest move of the summer for HBCUs.
Can you repeat it for me, Coach?
Deion this week about the Deion Sanders hiring at Jackson State. I say, what do you think the ramifications are for that, and could you see that trickling over somewhat possibly to basketball, like a big name basketball person? Who you think would be somebody to like we know that Howard right now is in the news because they already got the Maker kid that's already committed, and then they got P Diddy. I don't know if y'all saw that. Not P Diddy. Master P's son.
Master P.
Listen, his top four, and one of his top four final schools is Howard. So like if a Master P was to take over Howard, just hypothetical. I'm saying, what's the ramifications, if any, possibility of that trickling over to basketball? Just your thoughts on Deion personally. First of all, football, but then if it has a chance of could impact basketball at some point.
Well, hiring Deion was big. Did you see the list of the assistant coaches that he got coming in?
Warren Sapp and T.O. That was a rumor.
I saw
Terrell Owens.
But I saw T.O. I saw what he brought in Edwards, the coach DBs that used to play at Florida State. It's some good.
Is it true? I know Warren Sapp wasn't true. Sapp said there's no way he's going to Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what I heard also. But Terrell Owens, I think is confirmed.
Oh, that's big.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, like, that's huge for a kid to go there and get coached by the greatest athletes, at their position. When T.O. was playing, he was one of the greatest wide receivers ever. And the experience you'll get from Deion.
Besides Jerry Rice, T.O. got to be number 2.
So, to get that coaching experience, kids gonna be trying to get there. I already know they already offered a 5-star kid, and Deion probably can get it just with his name alone. He probably can influence them kids to get there. Now, will it trickle over to basketball? Deion would have to be an advocate to bring in a top name coach, and Jackson State would have to be willing to put the resources in order to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cost them, period. It's going to cost them. But it can happen if Deion advocates for it.
I just think that Deion could be a segue to not just basketball. I mean, not just football, but basketball. And it may not be at Jackson State, although it would make sense since he's at Jackson State. But I just think that it's a real possibility there, because nobody wants to be the first, but once you see it being done, it's been done, it makes it easier for others to follow behind it. And so Dion jumping out there, I mean, he playing with house money. I mean, if he don't win, they're gonna be like, oh, he ain't gonna get no blame for it because hell, he Dion. So it's, in my opinion, it's just win-win. So you got some other people that's on that level, coaching wise, on the basketball side. I think it could possibly happen, and him doing it first is gonna make it easier. I think if somebody was sitting there on the fence, like, man, I may want to go and try it just on the current state of things, I think it could happen. Nobody saw that on Dion. That came out of nowhere. And
but like I said, bro, it's really about resources though. So if you're gonna have me come in as one of them, one of those popular names, give me the resources that I need in order to make the recruit the players that I need. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Be willing to upgrade the facilities. Be willing to put those kids in, a decent place to stay and have them, where they're able to get meals, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Be willing to charter something every now and then. It's got to be poured into the resources in order to get those kids there. You got to have that commitment.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
It's not about whoever they bring in as a popular coach. It's not going to be about the money to them. You know what I'm saying? They millionaires.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're
just trying to make history. They actually
exactly.
They actually got goals. They just setting goals, man, trying to do a drive to make a change in history.
But give me the resources I need to get the players that I need. You know what I'm saying? And that's where is the difference between the HBCU and Florida or Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? They pour in the resources to get, the players that they need. And then you got top-notch facilities.
Yeah. I saw what Dion I heard on the radio they were saying he was looking for somewhere to like live, some place to stay in Mississippi, and he was asking for help, and he wants it to have so many acres and like a pond. He said he's looking to be in Mississippi for a couple of years, so you know how he like the fish and all that kind of stuff. So he was putting that out there like anybody who knows something. So I heard it on satellite radio. They coming home. So to that point,
the big question is going to be: is his son going to decommit from FAU and come?
Some Sanders. I just saw somebody text me about some Sanders. I just saw something, man.
I definitely think his son gonna leave South Carolina and come to Jackson State. It's gonna be interesting to see if his boy comes. But I mean, he's been coaching his boy at quarterback, for years. So I wouldn't be surprised if he decommit from FAU. I really wouldn't be surprised at that. Depending on how Taggart go out there and do, and Taggart ain't played the game yet. So depending on how he go out, he jump out there. If he jump out there losing, I could definitely see him saying, "Oh, I ain't sending my boy down there." At the end of the day, so well, I think we got through another one today, fellas. Tonight, y'all boys up again. I was telling Coach Billy D. I was telling Tumer off the air.
Hey, before we go, they got a transfer from Mississippi State. Javaris Selman.
Dion already got one.
Yeah, Mississippi State defensive back Javaris Selman, a Jackson native, announced late Wednesday that he's opted out of the 2020 season and transferring to his hometown school. Selman was a 3-star recruit in 2020.
Dion finna get some of them Mississippi and Mississippi State kids. And who Mississippi? They got two. They got one of them got Kiffin at one of the schools, Lane Kiffin at Mississippi.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
And then who else? The other kind of crazy coach at Mississippi State that came from out west. Mike Leach, yeah. So he gonna get some of they ain't gonna like Dion. He gonna get some of they guys. So I'm doing this on the air. I already know what y'all gonna say since I know where both y'all hard lies at. But tonight, game 4, Denver Nuggets, LA Lakers. I ain't watched one of the games yet. I'm gonna watch tonight because I was told that the Lakers was gonna sweep the people, so I ain't even really waste my time. Now it's like it's a series, and I want to get y'all take on this. So I was in the barbershop yesterday, and it was on the ESPN, one of them talk shows, and the headline, like kind of what we got going right now, is LeBron. Can LeBron? It's either can he get some help or he needs some help, and the conversation was in the barbershop, and it's like he got AD. Was it can LeBron and AD need some help or LeBron needs some help? The help was kind of the conversation, and not the conversation yesterday was he needs help against Denver, or they need help, him and AD need help against Denver. And I guess some people were saying, well, when he win, he'll need help. When he lose, he need help. And so I know y'all both basketball guys, y'all more pro guys than me. So first of all, tonight, I know who y'all predicting to win, but I'll ask you anyway just for the sake.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, the hell part is the guard shot. They went 0 for 9 from the threes. They didn't make a three. Every game that they've struggled in the playoffs, they shot terrible. Second, there's no way possible on this earth at this time that Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and JaVale McGee only get 4 rebounds total and AD get 2 in this game coming up. No way they get 4 rebounds. That was big. The 0 for 9 and 4 rebounds. That was huge. And Denver shot the lights out of it. But if they go 0 for 9 again and they get 4 rebounds, Denver wins that game again.
Coach.
I mean, I agree with Tumer on that. My thing is, like, AD, you 7 foot tall. Like, you got to be a walking double-double every time you step on the court. I mean, that just lets me know about effort and energy, especially on the defensive end. He cannot get 2 rebounds. He has to be impactful on both ends of the court, period. And if he's not, you know what I'm saying, we'll struggle with Denver. And like Tumer said, every time that we lost a game, Caldwell Polk, Danny Green, and all of them struggle from shooting outside.
Yeah.
LeBron can facilitate all he wants. If they're not knocking down shots, you know what I'm saying, it matters not. You know, they have to step up and do what they do. If they're going to be inconsistent, the Lakers going to be inconsistent. But I still like we got 6 more wins until it's a late show parade. So just to let y'all know.
I saw it was a conversation today. I was reading Quint Everett that, Lakeland and PJ from Arbondale was kind of talking. And PJ point was, first of all, Quint was saying that he can't believe that people saying that he felt like that Denver or LA will beat Miami. He said that, but when the series is going to beat Miami. But so they got into the conversation about AD and Jokic, and what PJ was saying was that he's saying that AD got to be more aggressive. He say AD is playing too finesse. He letting Jokic off the hook because he won't go on the block and punish him on the block. He got to be averaging 30 and 15, but he won't go on the block. He out on the wing. And I this is me just off of what they said, because like I said, I haven't watched a game yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight. But he say that Jokic is being a post player, AD is not. And that's he kind of letting him off the hook. He said he had Jokic up every night if he just go on the block, and for whatever reason he won't go down there. Y'all agree with that? Is that what's happening?
I mean, they got him in foul trouble the first game again. But if you go 0 for 9 and 4 rebounds, and then I'm gonna tell you something that they didn't do the other night that I noticed, and I caught late of it. I caught it late in. We've dominated the guard play by doubling like crazy. They played 1-on-1 against Murray the other night, and he killed them. He hurt them bad by playing 1-on-1. When Damian Lillard got the ball, we doubled. Harden, we doubled. We got to go back to that method. I don't think the Jokic thing.
No, I don't think so either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not so much Jokic, but more so that Davis not on the block. They're not playing inside out. Is what he was saying. They're not playing inside out through AD, and that's the best. That should be their strategy. Is what he was kind of saying.
I think it should change with the flow of the game. I mean, AD had 27 points, so it's not like he's not being effective offensively.
Yeah.
But
it's the rebound, what y'all saying, because he ain't getting no rebound.
Yeah, he didn't rebound. He didn't rebound the ball.
Championships is still won by defense, and it's a team defense, like Corey was saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like their strategies right now is just they change so much. They go away from what's working with them. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to.
That's crazy when they like the first game they dominated by actually moving around defensively like that. Then to go to the third game, they actually don't do it. Because I remember you were saying people were saying Denver should be up 2-1. I'm like, are you serious? LA was up double figures the whole game. They let them back in late. So I don't get how, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
like I said, I haven't watched the game. I'm on Twitter reading.
Anybody's gonna say 2-1 when you up and somebody hits a shot at the buzzer. If they watched the whole game, LA dominated the game, bro. They dominated that whole game. So if they made a shot at the buzzer, Jokic made an incredible shot over LeBron to put them back up on a bad shot by Murray. We ain't talking about that when LA was up.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with the 2-1 part when they telling you they should be up 2-1. How should they be up 2-1 when we were up the whole game double figures?
Yeah. I will say this though, what Miami's doing is good for basketball. I tip my hat off to that organization, to their coach Pat Riley and all of them for what nobody would have believed that they was gonna make this type of run in the playoffs. Yeah, and what they're doing right now is great for basketball. And they're gonna be in the championship game and they're gonna give the Lakers hell every game. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a great series.
Yeah.
Without the superstars, Miami don't have those big superstars.
If you look at
but it's gonna be great.
And like to your point, Coach, when they talk about the makeup of that team, even like with Jimmy Butler, like what he was, 2-star, no-star type, coming out of high school, went JUCO, we wasn't right, and just worked to got to Marquette and got to the league, and they thought the same thing about Crowder, went to something like technical school. So like you said, to your point, it's a great story for basketball, especially the kids that, like we say sometimes, ain't not always a 5-star kid that you can still, if you can play, they'll find you. And if you work hard enough, it can happen. So even like Robinson, the non kid was undrafted. So that the makeup of that team, not saying they're gonna win a championship, but they just like Buck said, we just go play. We don't care. They don't care who scored. Like last night, Hero had 37 last night. Yeah. And my son is a real big Heat fan, so that's how I know what they're doing, because he'll make sure to let me know. And he told me, he said, Dad, we got the best team. We might not win the championship, but we got the best team in the league. He said that before the lockout. So to your point, it is, and now everybody, it's crazy how 2 years ago people was ready to fire Spoelstra. Now he the coach that everybody want to talk about. It's just a testament to that too. So, but I just wanted to get y'all take on that, because I know y'all both Laker guys, and y'all gonna be, like I told the guy in the barbershop, I told Joy, I say, now Tumer, it's some delusional Laker fans, just like it's some delusional fans in anything. But one thing about Tumer, he'll keep it real even with his team. So you can have a conversation with him because he's gonna be real about it. But some of these guys, you talk to, and not just Laker fans, but just sports in general. You get some people, we don't mind talking sports. We ain't gotta agree, but let's just have some sense about what you're saying and be real about what's going on, and we can talk all day. So, so I'm gonna read this last comment, then we're gonna log up. So I can't stand that. Should be mentality. The game ends at the buzzer. AD made the shot for the buzzer, so LA won. You got to get stopped to the buzzer sounds. Good point, Coach. Totally agree with you. So, all right, well, we got another one in the bag tonight. Appreciate y'all.
I like you this weekend. Anybody want to bet? Let me know.
I didn't want to talk about it. It's also delusional, Hurricane fans, but it's their time. But I'm gonna tell you, and I told LeBarber this. I say when the Hurricanes and the Lakers are good at the same time, man.
It ain't even about being good. You said delusional Hurricane fans, but Florida State fans is the worst.
I didn't say they wasn't, boss. I didn't.
You said delusional Hurricane fans. You should have followed up saying it's some delusional.
You didn't give me a chance. You was ready to jump in, Coach. He didn't let me finish there. He was ready to jump in because he a Hurricane fan. He didn't let me finish my thought. Hey, y'all got it this week. Well, y'all should have it this weekend. Should be a good weekend for the Hurricanes. And like you say, my team is, we play Cincinnati this week, so I tap back in on Florida State once my son leave West Point. But it definitely should be a good sports weekend. You got Lakeland and Lake Gibson tomorrow night. That's like a big hyped up football game for the county, for the city. So if you're gonna get out to a game, I guess that's the game of the week. I don't know if anybody else playing that. So I think Bartow and Arbondale play tomorrow too. So a couple rivalry games on deck. If you plan on going, y'all be safe. Make sure you protect yourself because the Rona's still out there. Coach Kenny laughing. Coach Kenny is a Florida State fan, so that's why he laughing. But Coach Billy D and Coach Tumer are both Hurricane and Laker fans, so they feeling real good about tonight and this weekend. So
AD will have a huge game, man. AD might have a triple-double tonight.
I agree that AD. I didn't know he had number 4, 2 or 4, whatever you said, rebound. I agree. That's embarrassing. I didn't know that because, like I said, I ain't seen none of the game. So that's that there alone why they lost.
Tough though, man. Denver is tough, man. Denver is special.
Denver better than people think, but the Lakers, like I told you, Lakers still should win. I had the Lakers winning in 6 anyway. So I mean, there's nothing that's changed.
I had 5. Remember we talked about it, but it might be now. It might be 6 games. Even if Denver win tonight, I still feel Lakers will go and win.
Yeah, the Lakers definitely should. I said 6. I gave Denver 2 games, but I mean it could be 5. But I definitely don't think they can beat the Lakers in those 7-game series. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, so. And last before you leave, I don't even know the other guy's name on it. He had like 27 points, man. The guy for Denver.
Oh, Grant.
Yeah, Grant, 27 points, man.
Yeah.
They were supposed to win that game, bro, and they almost gave it to us.
Yeah.
And we turned it over 20+ times.
That's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, we played terrible. They played great, and we played terrible. We didn't play good. So that's why I say to hear people say what they said. Like you got 20 turnovers, 0 for 9, and your 3 big man get 4 rebounds. You don't supposed to win.
I agree with that. I didn't know the stats, especially like I said, all I need to hear was AD stats. I had the rest of that stuff. If AD get 10 rebounds, I think they still win. So
yeah.
All right, fellas, y'all.
Is Dwight Howard a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No. He a Hall of Famer though.
He a Hall of Famer? I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think. Somebody just jumped on saying they're supposed to be 2-1. I think the more that he plays, I think it lessens his legacy, if that makes any sense. Because these years he's been playing now, he's like he not at that same level. I don't know if that makes any sense. I know you don't go off just what you end up doing, but I think it's impacting his legacy by playing because he's not nearly worth he on the same level right now as JaVale McGee.
Has Stoudemire been mentioned as the first in the Hall of Fame yet?
I don't know. I think it's another year or 2 before he's eligible.
I would say Stoudemire first ballot before Dwight Howard.
Well, I seen some stats the other day. I'm gonna try to find it and send to you guys. And they compare him and Pumpkinhead. And Dwight had more All-Star appearances. He had 2 Defensive Player of the Years.
I saw those stats.
Yes. It just made me wonder, like, you know what I'm saying? These are Hall of Fame stats.
And he made it to the finals.
And he made it to the finals. I was just curious, what was y'all, thoughts on that? I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think they let him in on the first one.
I think his image and the way he was a team player hurts him from being first. Pumpkinhead didn't have that issue.
I agree. So
It's a good one. Ben Wallace. Y'all take. I see Rex for like Ben Wallace before Dwight before we get off.
Yeah, nah.
No.
Rex, they say when you heard him,
Oh.
you got ears, you heard him.
But I like Ben though. I like Ben.
Huh?
But not before Dwight though.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Pac-10 agrees to play starting in November. We getting all kind of news.
They had to. They breaking their own rules. They had to. Big Ten, once the Big Ten jumped, they had no choice. Hey, well, we gonna this weekend in the next couple of days, we're gonna go ahead and post the Lake Gibson and Jenkins girls, and go.
See, no comment.
Yeah, we're just gonna drop it and keep it moving, and we'll do 2 a week, and then we'll save Hank City and Dave for last, but anywho. All right, everybody, make sure you're safe the rest of the week. This weekend, hopefully your teams play well. Hopefully your teams win, and appreciate y'all rocking with Polk Hoops, and we'll do it again next week. Coach Tumer, Coach Billy D, y'all be safe, man. Appreciate y'all once again.
All right.
Everything.
All right.
Yeah.